interviews with the real estate experts. We'll delve deep into their journey to success and learn how to go the extra mile to serve their clients' wants and needs. Let's dive in. Here's your host, John Money McKinley.
Morning, everyone. John Money McKinley here. Thank you all for stopping by for another edition of Real Talk with Real Estate Pros. I know it's been a little while since we've been on the air, but I am back and we've got a lot of great information that I want to share with y'all. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the world of real estate and the world of mortgages as well as the world of credit. But once again, I want to let you all know, please do me a favor, like and subscribe to my channel. Really trying to grow this, and I'm trying to bring a lot of great information here, the truth about what's happening in the world of real estate and the world of finances as well as the world of credit from local experts who understand what's happening in the world of mortgages, in the world of real estate, in the world of insurance, in the world of home inspecting. There's a lot going on in the world today, and the more I look into it and the more I see what's going on, it's getting harder and harder to trust those people on your television. So we're here to offer you a source where you can come to for some great information. But with that said, I would like to bring my special guest on the show today. This is Mr. Greg West. He is a credit expert, and he can help you with all of your credit needs or credit questions. And we're going to get to Greg here in just a little bit after he does his introduction, but he's got some great information that he's going to share with us that I'm calling it some breaking news on what happened with that breach that we had not too long ago with credit. But with that said, Mr. West, how are you doing on this fine morning?
Very well, man. Glad to be back. Share some info.
You know, it's always a pleasure to have you here, sir. And as always, I want to start this off. I want to dig into the real estate side and the mortgage side first, and I'm going to make everybody wait for a little bit to really dive into and the news that you're going to have on what's happening with that credit breach. I think is going to maybe put a little bit of ease in people's minds, as well as Greg's going to share where you can go if you're worried about your credit to get it locked down easily and for free. So,
correct.
With that said, I'd like to dive in because I know this has been big in the news, talking about mortgage rates falling to their lowest levels since April of 2003. And of course, the Federal Reserve won't make its next rate decision until September 18th. But home buyers are already getting a break in borrowing cost, with the average 30-year fixed rate mortgage now at its lowest point since April of 2023. And I can attest to that. We've definitely seen some downticking in that. And that's something I'd like to kind of just share with people. That's happening because of the bond market. And yes, the Federal Reserve has a little bit of control over what happens to mortgage rates, but that's more usually directed by what happens in the bond market. So if you're in the market looking to see what's happening with your upcoming mortgage rates that you're getting for a home refinance or a home purchase, you want to keep your eye on the 10-year Treasury typically. Does it peg to that exactly? No, but it'll give you a very good idea of which direction mortgage interest rates are moving into. And I'd like to share this other article here. This is the nice folks at the Federal Reserve. Fed's Powell says, who's doing this writing now for articles, Greg? Fed's Powell says.
Yeah, probably some AI.
I was going to say, if we would have wrote like that in school, what do you think the teacher would do with that paper we're handing in?
I guess he changed his name to Feds. It's not Jerome anymore.
Ah, okay. So according to Mr. West, Mr. Jerome Powell has officially changed his name to Feds. But he said the time has come to cut interest rate cuts. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. Oh, okay. So he still is Jerome, sir. So Greg was mistaken in that, thanks to the bad AI writing. sent a straightforward message to the market in a key speech on Friday, saying that the time has come for the central bank to begin lowering interest rates. Speaking at a Kansas City Fed's annual economy synopsis in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, Powell said the time has come for the policy to adjust. The direction of travel is clear, Powell added, and the timing and pace of rate cuts will depend on incoming data, the evolving outlook, and the balancing of risks. Well, I don't know if you all are aware of this, but it appears that we had a little bit of issue with what was going on with the numbers for the job numbers. Did you hear about that, Greg?
I did. You really can't trust any of the data, man. It's all theater. And they've missed the boat with these cuts. They're probably going to do, my opinion, a half a point, not a quarter, because they should have already been cutting. But
that's what I'm suspecting as well. And in case you all don't know what we're talking about, the job numbers, the official job numbers, if you look what happens every month for over the past several years, the feds are giving us one number, but if you wait about 30 to 45 days later, they are continually revising those numbers on the downward trend. And we just got an update in July that showed us that 818,000 fewer people were employed. And that's right here. 818,000 fewer people were employed in the U.S. economy as of March, which suggests reports have been overstating the strength of the job market over the last year.
Yeah, and I think this came out because allegedly the only way you can fight inflation is to have the interest rates higher than the inflation rate or unemployment. And since the job numbers have been misleading, that's why they're late to the party as far as lowering rates. Could be on purpose. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, it's sad. Once again, that's another reason that we have this channel and why I'm doing this Real Talk with Real Estate Pros is we're going to dig to the bottom. We're kind of going at this. Well, not kind of. We're going at this with the old school way of reporting. We're grabbing the news information, presenting it to you all, and trying to really not put any bias on it, and just giving you the data and giving you the information so you can make an informed decision on what's going on in the world. And like I said earlier, the people on the news, they're nothing but actors. And that's why I'm grateful for the guest I have on. And we do have a lot of upcoming guests coming up in this next month. I've got some great people that are really going to dive into some of the things that are happening in the world of insurance as well, because I know that's been another huge thing that's been going on with the cost of insurance rates going through the roof. Now, I know you, Greg. Greg is not here in Texas. He is hidden somewhere deep in the mountains in a secret cave because he is on the credit side of the business, and he's got to remain hidden from the government's prying eyes. But what are you seeing happen in your area as far as insurance? Have you noticed your insurance rates going up?
Yeah. Of course, we had some big hailstorms come through here, and practically every roof in the neighborhood was replaced and cars damaged. So yeah, mine went up about 10% on the last renewal. So yeah. And anybody here in the Houston area, in the Texas area, we've all seen it. Of course, they blame it on, well, it's got to be the storms. So, but with that said, let's go over here and take a look at a 2024 Houston real estate trends. The top 6 predictions you need to know. 2023 witnessed a dynamic shift in the Houston real estate market, with rising prices and interest rates shaping the landscape. Despite these factors, the market largely favored sellers throughout most of Houston. Last year's home sales paralleled 2019's figures, with an average home price of $335,000, slightly below those in 2022 of $340,000. As 2024 begins, Houston real estate scene offers a blend of challenges and opportunities. And that's something I'd like to touch on here. Yes, I'm more biased towards the Houston area just because that's where I'm at in the Houston area. We fortunately in the state of Texas
have really been seeing a lot of opportunity going on as far as with companies that are coming here. We've got some major companies that have moved here, and I'll just bring up, good old Elon Musk and his space rocket things and his Tesla, along with his Twitter, X, whatever it's called now, and which that's bringing us a lot of jobs and a lot of taxes as well too. So I'm thinking where we're seeing things go, unless we see something insane happen with this market, Texas could be in a good position considering we are technically in the middle of a recession right now.
Right.
And according to this article here, Houston will end 2024 with its 3/5 best real estate market in history, which is fantastic news. So if you're here in the Houston area, or if you're thinking about moving to the Houston area, just know things are looking very good, as well as surrounding areas of Texas. I've also learned there is a lot happening in the El Paso area, of all places. There is a lot of the STEM companies that are moving into the El Paso area. That market's booming as well. We've got things happening in the Austin area, which I like to say, if you want to get a better idea of what Austin, Texas is like, think of it as the San Francisco of Texas. It's a joke, Greg. Come on.
I smiled, man. I smiled.
Yeah, okay. All right. So I guess it wasn't as good a joke as I thought it was. I apologize for my bad
Put
humor.
a laugh track in there.
No. We don't do laugh track here, sir. But with that said, I would like to dive into our next bit, which has become a popular feature here on the show. I'll have the producer bring in our next guest to give us the intro, if it would work like it's supposed to. And for some reason, it's not working like it's supposed to. I'll have to fire my producer for this. I'm very upset with him.
Now it's time for Real Estate in Space, where only NASA knows if it's real or if it's CGI. Now it's time
So for some reason, that isn't working like it's supposed to. So I'm definitely going to have to get with my producer, and I appear to be having some sound troubles again. But I will have those corrected by the next show. But what he was saying he was saying, welcome to our next segment called Real Estate in Space, where only NASA knows if it's CGI or if it's real. With that said, I found this article very interesting. Lunar real estate agent has sold 7.5% of the moon. And it's saying the lack of clear law on space property rights has stopped one man from selling real estate on the moon. This poor man, he was just trying to make a living, Greg.
Even get surveyors up there.
Exactly. Remind me of that movie. What's that movie where they got on the asteroid with
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, yeah.
What is that called? Armageddon, maybe?
Armageddon, yeah. We have to get a crew of those guys up there. Entrepreneur Dennis Hope of Gardenville, Nevada, has sold millions of acres of property on the moon, Mars, and other heavenly worlds through his company, Lunar Embassy Corp. Good Morning America reported. Yet many legal experts question whether such deeds would ever hold up in court. As far as title goes, it's a gray area.
I would say.
Was that a pun they're trying to do there? It's a gray area like the moon?
I think so, yes.
Let me see here. As far as the title goes, the gray area, the international lawyer and space law expert Timothy Nelson, who works for the firm in New York City, told Space.com in 2011, the Outer Space Treaty. Oh, there's an Outer Space Treaty. I was not aware of that. Were you aware of this, sir?
I was not.
Well, it was in 1967, forbids countries from claiming territory, sovereignty over the moon and other celestial bodies. Wonder if that's like the Antarctic Treaty.
Yeah.
Could be, could be. It doesn't, however, expressly forbid private companies from staking claim, Hope points out. Oh, so individuals can't do it, but corporations can.
Well, they are technically dead people, yes.
Okay, okay.
Their own ID numbers and corporations, yeah.
Whether the argument would hold up to legal scrutiny is unclear, but uncertainty has stopped Hope from selling space land. No. I hate to tell everybody, if you were dreaming of buying land in space on Mars, I'm sorry, but it's not available right now due to legalities. So, which brings me to the next article. Who owns the moon? Space law and outer space treaties. Because space is an area without defined borders, there are many questions about legal jurisdiction on spacecraft orbiting the Earth and other celestial bodies. Spacefaring nations have agreed to a variety of policies and treaties that concern activities in space exploration. Oh, they have that with a plural on treaties, so maybe there's more than one than the one from 1968. As humans reached the stars, some reached for the law books. In the year that the Soviet Union launched Sputnik in 1957, the United Nations General Assembly created an ad hoc committee on peaceful uses of outer space. In 1960, the International Institute of Space Law and Non-Governmental Organizations was created to promote international corporations and space lawmaking process. Today, several universities worldwide offer programs and degrees in space law. So, just so folks know, there's another college degree that I'm sure is going to be worth so much money for you in your career finding days. Space law. It'd look good on a resume, wouldn't it, Greg?
You would.
Or how about for somebody out there, a man in the dating field, when a potential mate asks you, so what do you do? Oh, well, I studied deeply in college. Oh, what did you study? Space law.
You can work for Space Force.
Oh, that's good thinking, Mr. West. All righty. With all that said, I want to dig into one of the big things that we were going to be talking about here, that we're going to talk about the hack that just happened. And I've got to grab the article here. So if you all would bear with me. Okay. Now, this is where Mr. West's field of expertise comes in. Mr. West is a credit expert. I've known Greg for well over 25 years, and Greg has been an incredible help to my clients on being able to get their credit a position to be able to buy and refinance property. So I'd like to just throw that out there to everybody. If you need an expert on credit, please, I'm going to recommend you reach out to Greg. He's an expert. I mean, I trust him. He's the one that really dug into this, because I'm sure a lot of you all have heard about this national public data breach that happened. Greg, can you kind of dig into what happened over the past, it's been about a month now?
Yeah, I saw this and it got a lot of attention, as fear porn always does, and that's what I'm calling this. Because when it first came out, the numbers, I was questioning it right off the bat just because the numbers seemed skewed. I was talking about every American, and this is how many things were compromised. And if you go to the bottom of that article, it says 2.9, I think it was 2.9 billion people were affected.
Hang on.
At the very bottom, according to the lawsuit that someone had filed.
Okay, bear with me. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
The class action lawsuits alleges it was cyber criminal group USDOD that accessed NPD's network and stole unencrypted personal information. Then the group posted a database, it said, had information on 2.9 billion people on the dark web on or about April 8th, 2024. seeking to sell it for $3.5 million. So here's a number we all want to remember: 2.9 billion people.
Right. And this is allegedly it's a company based in Florida, American owned. So I'm thinking right off the bat, all right, 2.9 billion. And there's roughly 300 some million people in the United States. So if this is the case, supposedly every single person in the United States, I guess, plus half of the rest of the world was involved in this, supposedly. And that's why I sent you that article there, showing the United States population roughly, what does it say, 350 million or something?
334 million.
There you go. So right off the bat, I'm thinking, all right, well, how many other countries' information does this company have, and why are the other country giving all their citizens info to a company that's an American?
That's a very good question. Now,
if that indeed has happened, to the extent that they say, which you'll see as we get into this.
Now, who is this company? Is it this article here that tells us who this company is, sir?
Yes, it's National Public Data, and that's from Kiplinger's. And they'll say right in there at the first paragraph, you just went past, that it's known as Jericho Pictures.
Wait a minute. Jericho Pictures as in, I don't know, maybe a Hollywood movie type thing?
Yeah, that's the pictures I thought of. Yeah.
Okay. So now that was just speculation when you saw it, and I'm just speculating that I'm looking at it because, like I said, we're here to report the facts.
Right. So I want to know, well, who owns Jericho Pictures? So I started doing some looking around, and of course, their website has been down ever since this happened. That's the actual picture of it. And I started looking at this, I think it was a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and it's still down. You can go there right now.
Yeah, I'm here right now, and it says this, and this is JerichoPictures.com. If you all would like to go there and take a look, you can, and this is what you'll see. You'll see these little orange cones, and the site is down for maintenance. Come back quickly.
Yeah, still down. So then I kept looking around. I'm like, man, so I found some Wikipedia stuff, but then we wanted something more legit. So I found this on this is the state of Florida, basically business registration site. And you'll see the address matches on Coral Springs there of what MPD was with Jericho Pictures. And you'll see the registered agent's name, Salvatore Varini.
Huh.
So I'm like, all right, well, who's this guy?
Wait a minute. The name was changed in 3/23 of 2009. The address was changed in 1/18 of 2017. Now, when they say the name was changed, they're not talking about Salvatore Varini. They're talking about the name of the company. Am I correct in that?
That would be a good assumption, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because anytime you have a corporation, they've got to have the public information with the registered agent, basically, who gets updates in the mail and all that stuff. Responsible for filling out changes of, like if the address does change, things like that. You usually update that stuff yearly.
Okay, and this was initially Jericho Pictures was initially put together in 12/18 of 2001 in Florida. And status is active. Mm-hmm. Last event was a reinstatement, and the event the date was filed was on 10/5 of 2012. So this appears to have sat there inactive since Jericho Pictures, that is, sat there inactive since 12/18/2001 to 10/5 of 2012.
Potentially, yes.
Interesting.
Just the information there, yeah.
Okay, and then let's go over here to Mr. Salvador. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I couldn't find much info on the guy, but that particular character there relates back to the Coral Springs, and that's his International Movie Database account. And he's an actor / producer / agent. That's what it says there.
Interesting.
Producer, writer, actor. Yeah.
Biography. He's 5'10". Mini bio. Salvatore Varini started his acting career in the 6th grade. Stage play Annie. So why would this person be in charge of that big company that has all of that data on people's personal information? That seems a little unusual.
That's the big $1 million question. Exactly. You make of that what you will, but I considered it all strange. Like a big theater production, get people upset, angry, divided, fearful. And that's what I think that whole thing was. Did a hack really happen? I don't know. Maybe. But on the next page, I'll send you, if you are concerned about it, which is why I had some people calling me, some of my clients. I told them not to worry about it, but I did give them an action they could do to take care of it. And the only way to really completely lock down your credit is with credit freezes.
Okay.
Directly with the credit agencies. And
yeah. Now this here, I have put this link in the on the Facebook as well. I'm going to recommend you go here. This will show you how to freeze all 3 of your credit bureau agencies. Just know if you do this, hang on, I'm putting a note in the chat here as well on YouTube. Link to freeze your credit. If you do this, you definitely want to make sure that you save these passwords where you know where they're at, because trying to get yourself unlocked once you've locked it can be a nightmare.
yeah, and that is one thing you have to consider. If you're going to be applying for a lot of credit, you have to unlock it, then relock it. So it is a bit of a nuisance. But if you're legitimately concerned about this hack alleged, that's a way to fix it. But to me, it was just a big energy stealing, fear mongering event that now no one talks about, but until the next one.
Okay. Well, that's some very interesting information. I really appreciate you sharing that with us, Greg, because I know I was speaking to a lot of people because I'm in the business of, mortgages, and credit is something that's very, very important. And a lot of people were worried. And yes, I know the company that I'm with, we are ultra secure on the data. 1, because we have to be. 2, we don't want our clients' data taken, because if we have our clients' data breached, that leaves us open for lots of legal issues, as well as leaves us open for a bad reputation in the business. And I appreciate you coming here, Greg, and sharing this with us. It's in the chat here, y'all. And on the replay where you'll be able to rewatch this, I'm going to also put it and pin it as the first comment. And it's free and easy to do. It doesn't cost any money. It's just like I said, I'm going to stress that you know where your passwords are and your user IDs are, because trying to get your credit unlocked, which you can't blame the credit reporting agencies, if you don't know your passwords and usernames, they're going to have a lot of questions for you.
And something I'll add, the very first article we showed, they put a site that I think it was pentester.com to see if you were in the breach, which I clicked on that and went through it. It looks like they're just trying to sell you something. So keep that in mind as well.
Okay. So if you're going to look to see if you were part of the quote unquote breach that more people than are in America were supposedly breached. Interesting.
Right. So make of that of what you will, but yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Well, Greg, I appreciate it, and I appreciate y'all coming by for another episode of Real Talk with Real Estate Pros. If you could do us a favor, Greg, can you please let people know how they can reach out to you if they have any questions on their credit, any questions on what's happening?
Absolutely. You can go to westcreditservices.com, fill out a little form. I can call you anytime, or call me directly, 859-625-4546. And I am the only one that answers the phone. So if you get the voicemail, leave a message. I'll call you back pretty quick.
Awesome. And like I said, I've worked with Mr. West for well over 25 years, and I'm grateful for the information he's taught me. And he'll have a free consultation with you all and talk to you about what's going on with your credit. He'll even show you where you can go get all 3 of your credit reports for free, where it won't cost you $1, so you can put yourself in the best position for what you want to do with your financing. And let's be honest, we're coming into some very interesting times in America. You're going to want to have yourself in the best financial positions possible, because even as some bad things may be going on and some negative stuff may be happening in the economy, if you have yourself in the right position, you can put yourself in a position to get through this as hopefully as unharmed as possible during all of these times. But with that said, Mr. West, I appreciate it. You have a great day, sir, and thank you all
Thanks for
very
having me.
much. I'm going to encourage you, please, if you know anybody who's a real estate expert, real estate agents, insurance agents, home inspectors, experts in the field of real estate in Houston and other cities in Texas, please reach out to me. Have them send me a text or send me a text with their name and number. Text number's right above there. I would love to chat with them and give them the opportunity to be on the show and share with my audience more information about what's happening in their part of town. Once again, John Money McKinley here. I look forward to seeing you all next week on Real Talk with Real Estate Pros. Y'all have a great